Good afternoon, folks. It's Robert Chappell, Executive Editor of Madison365, with your daily update for August 27th. And I don't have a lot of good news today. It is just not looking great on the COVID front, I'm afraid. The Looking at today, the third day this week that we've been over 10,000 or over 2,000 rather cases. 10,000, can you imagine? Over 2,000 cases. 2,283 today. That's the highest we've had in this sort of most recent surge. That pushes our daily average up to 1,584, that's the highest that's been since January 23rd. It was at 1,574. The positive test rate also took a jump today it was not a huge jump, I guess. It was 7.6 yesterday, 7.7 today. Very high and moving upwards. There was a minute there, it looked like it was going to start to come down. There was an increase in testing, therefore an increase in negative tests, and therefore, as the positive test rate will come down slightly. That is not what we are seeing now. We are now seeing that positive test rate inching back up, right? It was hovering around 7 for a while, and just isn't anymore. It is on the rise. Also today, we are seeing an increase in hospitalizations. 865 people currently hospitalized. That's an increase of 49 over yesterday, and an increase of 114 since last Friday. It's an increase of 15% over the course of this week. Also today, 259 people currently being cared for in intensive care units across the state. Basically, across the state, hospital beds are, over 90% capacity, right? Over 90% full, right? Not yet at a critical stage. You're not yet at the stage where we're turning people away. We are hearing of, cancer surgeries that are important but not immediately necessary being postponed to make room for COVID patients, right? Not great. We're just hearing sort of anecdotally about that. We're not seeing a lot of data that indicates that the hospital system is about to be crushed or anything like that. We're not building field hospitals. What it is telling us, though, is that this current surge is not just hitting the vaccinated, and it's not just hitting young people or less vulnerable people. It is causing really severe disease, just like last time, except in more people. One other number I'll give you: 5 new deaths yesterday. That pushes our daily death average to 8. It was actually 9 yesterday. But 2 weeks ago it was 1. Like, we were having 1 death a day a couple weeks ago. Now we're at 8, right? So again, not a huge number, still a number that's headed in the wrong direction. A little bit of news on the COVID front. The school district, the Madison Metro School District, will not vote. We will discuss on Monday a resolution that would require vaccinating all students and staff, or all staff rather. I'm pretty sure that the current idea is to introduce a requirement for staff. I would imagine it could possibly also include eligible students. Board member Nikki Vandermeulen was been very vocal in support of that and got it put on the agenda. And then today, in a media availability, Carlton Jenkins, the superintendent, said that administrative staff supports a vaccine requirement. So he will recommend to the school board that the school board does, in fact, implement a vaccine requirement. And I had tip to Scott Gerard from the Capital Times for tweeting that. What I don't know is where the teachers union stands on that. So I might try to give Michael Brown a call over the weekend and see where the teachers union would be on that. The teachers union was in favor of mandating masks, and they actually sort of joined in the announcement of a mask mandate with the Madison Metro School District. I don't know what the teachers union would feel about a vaccine mandate, but we will try to find out. So that's the COVID news for today. Again, it's bad news all around. It gets, I don't say boring, but it gets repetitive. So, keep your masks on, get vaccinated. That's all we can do. Oh, speaking of vaccines, one other slight piece of good news is that vaccinations are up slightly. Right, we had 7,000 doses given yesterday, but that puts the daily average at 8,546. Still not enough. We still need that to be in the 16,000 range. And it could be. We have enough supply. Okay, but again, that has been as low as 5,000 not too long ago, which is part of why we're in this mess, right? We had a lot of people vaccinated in April and May, not so many in June, and then July it was just like nobody was getting vaccinated. And now we're finally waking up, and it's inching up slightly. But again, that has to get much faster. We were supposed to be to 80% vaccinated, 70% vaccinated at least by middle of July. Right now we're at 54% have one shot, and 51% are fully vaccinated. So we're just over half fully vaccinated. Now that's the entire population, not just eligible population. Right? Substantial portion of the state's population is not yet eligible to be vaccinated because they're under 12 years old. So once the emergency use authorization gets approved for kids, I think a lot of parents will probably see that same spike again in vaccinations that we saw, because there was just a lot of people who really wanted to get vaccinated, who waited till the day they were eligible and then went and got it as quick as they could. And then once all those people were done getting it, like the rest of the people were like, I'm not going to get it, or are facing significant barriers to getting it, or just kind of haven't got around to it yet. I would anticipate that there's a lot of people who are just chomping at the bit to get their kids vaccinated. And as soon as that is authorized, we'll run out and get them. And there'll be a big run and be a big spike, and lots of kids will get vaccinated, and then it'll die off again as all those other folks are just like, don't get around to it. Because it's difficult. For some of us, it's merely inconvenient for a day. For other people, it's a real challenge to get to an appointment and to get to a clinic and take the time off work and all that stuff. So we have to be understanding of that, right? These unvaccinated folks are not all choosing to be unvaccinated. Many are, but many are not. Many are facing significant barriers, including lack of paid time off of work. Right? Lack of paid time off is a significant barrier for a lot of folks who hear about side effects, who hear about they're not scared of side effects necessarily, right? These aren't like, they're not worried about microchips or blood clots. It's like, I'm going to be sick the next day and I'm not going to be able to go to work, and I'm going to lose a day of wages because I don't have paid time off. And then I'm going to have a hard time making ends meet. And I got to do that twice over the course of a month. That's a significant problem for a lot of people in this state. So don't just dismiss people who aren't vaccinated as anti-vaxxers. There are a lot of those, right? Especially sort of in the more rural white areas. And a lot of folks who just haven't got around to it yet, right? Who are not watching the news every day, who don't quite get the severity of this, who just are like, I don't know, I'm going to get it, I'll get it. They're kind of in that space. So got to keep moving, got to keep pushing, got to keep helping people get vaccinated if they want it, got to keep kind of gently persuading people who don't want it to want it, right? All right, we're going to take a short pause. We'll be back with some more news, and we'll talk about a few things that aren't COVID, maybe a little bit nicer to talk about, right after this word from our sponsor and our good friends, Madison College.
I wasn't sure if it was the right time.
Then I heard about the college try.
You take classes for 7 days, see if it works for you.
No obligation, no worries. I kept going. I'm so glad I did.
I wanted to do online classes, but I didn't have a computer. Then Madison College hooked me up.
You can borrow a college laptop and a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Seriously.
My dad always says, give it the old college try.
For real, give Madison College the college try.
Try Madison College risk-free for 7 days.
No commitment.
Just try it.
Like a free trial for college.
Like, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
All right. Thanks for sticking with me. A couple of things to mention, some stories that are on the website today. First of all, this is Chris Walker. He's a dance instructor at UW, a choreographer. He's been with UW since 2006. He came as a dance instructor and as a choreographer. He presented some shows at Wisconsin Union Theater, then was hired on, was the artistic director of the Office of Multicultural Arts Initiatives, oh my, and the First Wave program. Are you familiar with that? He has just recently, July 1st was his first day on this new job. He was away for a little bit and has come back as the director of the Division of Arts, which is a new thing at UW for students in those arts disciplines. And he's focused on what he calls artivism, right? Arts activism, creating social good through the arts. And our reporter, Angelica Usery, spoke with him. Has a nice profile on the site today at Madison365.org. Also today, more out of school time, most, has given awards to 11 teachers from the Madison Metro School District. They're seen here at the new Youth Arts Center, along with Mayor Dr. Rose Conway there in the middle, have been recognized for their exemplary work getting kids through this pandemic. A lot of educators deserve a lot of kudos for that work, and they've been recognized in that story also. It's on Madison365.org this afternoon. Also this weekend, Sunday, is the Black Latino Unity Picnic. There's been a lot of, over the years, this is a years-long thing, obviously. There's been some tension between Black and Latino communities in Madison, and this picnic has been around for 15 years, something like that. 13 years, maybe, as just a time to pause and be together and find community across those ethnic lines. And it's really fun. And it's coming up Sunday. All the details about where and when and how to participate and what you can find there at Madison365.org today. And finally, if you play soccer, you know this. It is the world's game, right? Like, everybody across the world plays it. All you need is a flat spot of ground and a ball. And it is the most popular sport in the world. And they're finding that kind of sense of international community at the University of Wisconsin. Since these Near West fields opened back in 2017, every day at 5 p.m., a group comes together to play football, which is what they call soccer everywhere else in the world, as I'm sure you know. They couldn't last year, and now they're back. And they're finding that international community again. And our reporter, Shazad Baloch, he goes there to play. So he's like in it. So it's kind of, I don't know if, is that a conflict of interest? Is that bias? I don't know. But he spoke with some of the other players there, and they all talked about just how good it is to be able to find joy with folks from all around the world, from Nigeria and Asia and elsewhere in Wisconsin and Madison people. And it's kids 15 up to 40. It's not just all students, and anybody can stop by and play some football with folks from around the world, and a lot of good conversations, some good photos too. In that story at Madison365.org. All right, that's what I have for you today. If you value this service, if you understand that this was really important to keep you informed, you can throw a few dollars our way. Right, we're a nonprofit newsroom, so we're like legit 501c3. So if you make a donation, it is tax deductible. And if you make a monthly subscription donation, you can become a member of the FAM, which is our membership program. Go to Madison365.org/thefam and choose your level and go from there. All right, that's it for me today. Have a wonderful weekend. It's going to be a beautiful one. And we will be back right here Monday with more news from our communities across around Madison and across Wisconsin. I'm trying to find my graphic here, my sign-off graphic. There it is. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.
This is 365 Media.